Hi everyone, it's Alison Marler here with another Global Winning Women live call, and I am so delighted today. We're doing something just a little bit different. Most times we bring somebody who is sharing resources and tools for your entrepreneurial journey, but outside of that, we all have our own lives, we all have our own families, and I came across an amazing lady, Charlotte Egemar, who is from Denmark, obviously from Global Winning Women. We're stretching ourselves wide and far here. And I was really taken with some of the work that Charlotte does, the real difference that she's making in the world. And I really wanted to connect with Charlotte and share her ideas with the Global Winning Women community. So I'm going to tell you just a tiny bit about Charlotte. I'm not going to go in too deep because I know that you already will have some information, and I'm going to allow Charlotte to unfold lots of stuff for you as well. But Charlotte is a passionate speaker and workshop leader, and she loves traveling around the world, both for business and for pleasure. And she says in her little bio, preferably with her husband, which makes me giggle because I just think that is so wonderful that we can actually combine that business and pleasure too. So what is it that Charlotte really does? Well, she's the Fusion Family Mentor. She's also an author, and I'm sure she'll tell us a little bit about the two books that she has published a little bit later on in the call. But what is it that she really does? So, Fusion Family, I think this is probably the best time to invite Charlotte to join us on the call so that she can reveal all and let us know what this is all about. So, hi Charlotte, how are you?
Hi Alison, and thank you so much for having me on your call.
Oh, you're so welcome.
And I'm so thrilled to share with your community my knowledge about how to become a successful Fusion family. I'm delighted. Thank you.
So, this, I think, is the ideal starting place, Charlotte. What is a fusion family?
Actually, it's a kind of a word I invented because I wanted to offer the world a new word, because I didn't want to be the wicked stepmother from the fairy tales. I didn't want to be a blended family, like you put people in a blender and you turn out to one gray mess. So I thought, what if I combined or found a new word, and then if you imagine two atoms that combine, it releases a lot of energy. Two atoms that fusion, it releases a lot of energy, and that is exactly the perfect description of how to be in a family, a fusion family. So actually it was also just a funny word that makes maybe sometimes people smile when I say it. I'm a fusion mother. So that's the reason why I call it that.
I love that, because I think very much, Charlotte, that the world is so ready for a new language. Yeah. So you're a pioneer.
Yes, I am. I'm trying to be.
Absolutely. And, in this day and age, for not apportioning blame or anything like this, many families are blended,
Yes.
Long gone are the days where we would have been brought up in either an extended family or a nuclear family. That's no longer the norm, is it? So I think also there's not a lot of knowledge even, I wouldn't have thought about, how to really thrive as a fusion family. I don't even know if I'm right here because I don't know any of the statistics at all, but this is just my assumption.
They are really high. I think in the U.S. the divorce rate between fusion families is more than 60%. It's really high.
Did you say 60%?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Goodness me, that really is high, isn't it?
Yes,
and
it
so,
is.
I appreciate, that, well, as I said, not apportioning any blame. It's just really a fact of life. And I think, for me, I think a lot of people are realizing that if things aren't working, they don't have to stay in a relationship. But at the end of the day, we have to think about the children, don't we? And, what's really, really best for them. I know that I have a few friends also. I'm going to start adopting your term, fusion family. I have a few friends who are fusion family. Yes, absolutely. I will share it with them as well.
In your mouth. It's a nice word, and it makes people smile, and that's the best.
Absolutely, it really does. It really takes the edge off, a step family. Yeah, definitely. So, actually, I'm just going to backtrack. You mentioned the divorce rate. What do you think the reason is that it's so high?
It's because actually most of the time people are feeling very, very lonely. And it's like your children and against my children. Sometimes it's because they have all this heavy baggage with the feeling of guilt from the previous marriage. When you move into this fusion family, you're starting to feel really guilty that you didn't succeed the first time. And that is one of the most heavy stones you have with you. The woman feels guilty that she didn't succeed the first time. The husband feels guilty that he didn't succeed the first time. And these two poor people are trying to build a foundation for a new family. And that's not possible. You have to look at that guilt. Take it out. Look at it. Why are you feeling guilty? Even though that your husband left you, it still isn't good enough for you to stay in a relationship where you're no longer loved or no longer love the person. So I try to convince or talk my clients into seeing that actually they are role models for the children. They show the children that actually I choose love. I choose to try this new relationship. I go after love because love is all that matters in the world. So I think it's really important to look at the feeling of guilt. And I know that the people who listen, and if they are in a fusion family, they will recognize it, because you can recognize the guilt feeling by the way you are disciplining your children, the way you're feeling when your partner is trying to discipline your children. Then it's the voice of guilt that speaks the language. Does that make sense for you, Alison?
It absolutely does, and I think
your reactions are heavy. Your reactions are very. Your reaction will be very heavy because of the feeling of guilt. So you react very irrational. But
yes, I can imagine.
Of guilt that talks.
Yes, and I have a question that I'd really love to pose here very much, because obviously you are part of a fusion family yourself.
Yes,
and,
I am.
I'm very proud to be that, I think.
Yes, I am.
Absolutely, and I can hear that in your voice, and I'm just wondering, how you have come to really understand all of this. Has this come from your own personal journey, Charlotte?
Yes, it did.
Wow.
Most of it came from my own personal journey. When I met my husband, actually, it's 12 years ago. I just had to count this morning. And when I met him, I was totally out of alignment, and I was